And next thing, what I started to do is to kind of push the limit of the by push the design, some adding some more shade here and that. Um, yeah, but first thing I did is I adding a little rooftop, which is I directly modified from the rooftop of this shops. So as you can see, I'm not doing in the very decent and elegant way. It's a bit crappy, but I mean, it is cyberpunk, right? It is cyberpunk. And so next thing what I'm going to do is about um, design with the element inside the scene, which is this very cool pipes, this gravel and the air, some kind of air system, filtering system, the kind of pipe and the vent. Uh, I kind of don't know what it is. I don't know the words. I'm not sure about it, but you get me, right? You can see this kind of great gribble with some pipes. Yeah, we're going to using this as our phone language and make them crawling, spreading, spread their shape and form according all the thing, because I think this is a very iconic cyberpunk element. They are this kind of shape are kind of telling us a bit some kind of function. It's kind of like saying like well, they are doing this kind of element they are for the air system, right? Air filtering system. So what we can do is like using this linear structure to wrapping around our building, like what I'm doing right now. It's like, as you can see, this cubicle, this boxy architecture, we just, surrounding them, like literally just wrapping them around, like emphasize, make it stronger, make the shape and the shape and form, the boxy shape and form even stronger. And yeah, it's like we are like doing an outline, like describe the shape and form. And also we can extending this element, and for example, like these pipes. I think one thing for sure this could be done. It is using as a linear element I can put in the foreground, because it just can increasing the vertical, well, not vertical, the linear composition that we want, right? As like a very strong line point to the center point. And also you may say like, okay, making this kind of pipe, is there make this area should be walked around by people, and make it, now we are adding this pipe, is there we are not, we are making it more difficult to walk around? And I would say yes, because it is cyberpunk, right? It is adding those shape and form without considering people's need. It's just brutal, it's just adding on it to for some reason, but it totally ignores something else. Maybe this area, for example, like this place, it's like a glass. You can think about maybe it's a restaurant. People can eating, have a nice lunch inside, and by looking out of glass and observe the beautiful city. And now we are putting this air filtering system to blocking the view of those windows, and just maybe you need to pay double to get some seat. They're not gonna be blocked, otherwise you're going to be sitting in the weird place. So yeah, so as you can see, I'm duplicating again. And also I think this could be a language, not just on the surface. It could be crawling, almost like a virus, spread into all over the scene. On the building. Is it can also helping our eye to be see that oh, this is the building that, it's kind of like almost like describe the shape and form. Like, okay, this is box, and out this kind of outline, I think is a great way to helping our audience to, when they see them, they will see those shape across them. It's like a cross section, and maybe if you had a draw edge or learning perspective drawing before, in order to just using outline to draw perspective, we to describe some of the organic shape of phone, we needed to cross section, right? And this kind of shape and this pipes, this scribble attach on it and walk around and follow the flow of those building. It's kind of like emphasize this feeling, and also in the way that just very cyberpunk way. And so I think this is a perfect element to do, and this is exactly something I think easy to do with Kibash workflow. As you can see that this kind of language, this kind of shape and form is previously already existing in the Kibash set, but we didn't it just be using in the very settled and elegant way. And now, according to the style and the world the we wanted to build, we are adjusting and also develop our own way. It's like to do the design and think about new solution of, and in a very creative way to design our own interpretation. So yeah, I think this is very cool. And also, and by using Kibash, we can usually, at the beginning, like if we start with a model designed by ourselves, we will do this in the first step, right? We needed to design our basically we need to do our own kit set, and but with kit with existing model, we can do design later, and I think this is also a great process because we can focus on designing lighting and composition and the relationship between the building first, then think about the individual element. And I think Kibash and 3D tool just giving us the freedom to do things, from approach things from different way. And I think this is really awesome. And of course, even without push the design further or creating some of our unique way, we already creating a composition, right? The city and the relationship of the city. And I would say, it could be this it is could be a great work itself, by just think about the composition. So yeah, so with 3D tool, we have a lot of freedom to do something. Just what maybe we do it today. We do some composition. We just basically moving thing around, creating composition and lighting, and we started observation. We started to observe the information inside it, right? We got a good piece, good work, good lighting, and we feel happy, and we go to sleep. And our subculture will continue working, and we will continue to think about, those elements. I feel something. You can think about what can I do, what can I push, and you can design later, right? You can develop your eye and develop your consciousness, and also generating new idea later on. And I think this way of learning, it is much easier to continue, because who doesn't like have a beautiful solution first, then doing the how the hard work later. I mean, of course, design and think about original content at the beginning. It is actually not saying that's miserable because as artists, I think we all enjoy it, but sometimes we wanted to focus on different things, right? And I think free Blender or 3D concept workflow giving us the freedom to when we just want to enjoy the composition and lighting, we can do it. And when we want to do enjoy the design, we can also totally do it, like what I'm doing right now. So right now I was use design the antenna a little bit. I was changing the proportion because it is something you can do, by design, you got a lot of solution. You can make it as a Lego to change the shape and form, or you can just tweak the proportion. Also, right now I was directly scale it down, and I want to using this element to adding on my foreground. And usually we try to avoid scale sync directly because it will ruin the scale. But this kind of man-made functional driven structure, actually they are made with a different proportion and a different scale according to the different needs, right? So it is kind of reasonable to have a big pipes and small pipes. So in that from that kind of point of view, that we can say it won't be ruining the scale, you know. Otherwise, you know, like I previously had demonstrated, like some of the things that interacted with human, this kind of thing, the scale will be pretty important. So we shouldn't directly make them bigger or make them smaller. You know, we should pay attention about tweaking this the proportion of it. But other thing could be very easy, could be very loose. And yeah, I, I I wanted to turn on my background and check it overall feeling. And I think what we can do is like continually to spread the new design language from these pipes uh, uh, into even the foreground and into the midground and the background. Or we can leave it because it could be also, you know, maybe we want to creating a gradient, you know, between messy, cyberpunky foreground and the more advanced, like commercial area of the city. You know, that's also another approach, right? But of course, in the truth is I just maybe you know if you see me do that, the truth is just I'm lazy to spread this kind of design into the background. Uh, but of course, it is a great opportunity for us to design a lot of unique elements. So yeah, I think till this point, what we can do is just have fun and think about the design.